Let's talk size. You have a Wreck-Gar getting fresh with RC. He's getting a good smell. Oh, fuck, I can't put that in there. There's an elephant in the room, and when I say elephant, I really mean man. And when I say room, I really mean chest. Basically, I'm saying there's a dude in this guy's chest. He's probably the most exciting reason about getting this figure, and in some people's opinion, the worst. But there's Alpha Trion instead of Minimus Ambus. This guy is amazing looking. He is covered in paint. He looks super cool. He pegs in there real nice. This Takara version doesn't add any paint apps in the cockpit, unfortunately. But let's take a look at him first. If you're curious about the size of Alpha Trion in robot mode, this should help. I have to admit, if you are a world's smallest Transformer collector, I think you have to buy this set because that looks awesome. Looks awesome. Let's take a closer look at Alpha. Every piece of Alpha Trion is painted except for his arms and his thighs. I absolutely love it. He looks so good. Let's get in close. He is a fantastic looking bot. The details are amazing. There's even a little bit of pink on his face. Can't believe it. And he does look good with these two guys. To transform Alpha Trion, all you have to do is get his little arms and legs out of the way. And if you're a conservative type, you might not like this, but you basically grab him by the head and the butthole. Yes. And you rock his body down. It's on a double hinge. And then you simply close up his legs and peg the arms in. There's a little tab you can see right there. And you have Alpha Trion in his vehicle or alt mode. Nothing spectacular. Plus, a lot of Transformers fans hate the idea of Alpha Trion even having an alt mode, which I think is crazy. I've always thought he should be a triple changer, right? Trion, right? Yeah, you WST collectors, I got you covered. Here is an alt mode comparison. So I'm not going to bore you with all the things you've already heard about the Hasbro release of this figure. I will point out some things that I found on my particular figure. I don't know if this is around the board, but I do have a detented ratchet here on his right arm, and absolutely nothing but friction on his left. There's good friction here. I've tried with the hammer and everything. It holds its weight. There's no issue with its stability, but I don't know if something's broken or not molded properly, but that kind of confuses me. I will say that the weapons are nice because they're white. I think they look much better. The hands still have the same issue. The tolerance of these hands have not been tightened, so you still are just using the friction of his fingers to hold the weapon in his hand, and it's just, it's not what I'm used to with Transformers. And he has red thighs. Get over it, people. It's happened before. Check this picture out. The main thing I notice about the deco is that I love the breakup on this figure. I really enjoy that there's a bit of a metal flake in the blue plastic and the darker tone of blue. Just to get it out of the way, let's talk about that blue. Some people like the more pale blue. I'm glad they didn't go this far. I think this is a great looking figure. but they didn't go this far. You could see that blue is not as intense as this one. So I enjoy that very much so. I enjoy the weapon colors. The thighs bother me a bit. You have a different molded color of plastic at the hip than you do at the thigh. I'm not sure why that would happen. I'm assuming that maybe this is a more sturdy plastic, and maybe that involves a slightly different shade of red. There are ratchets in those hips, so that could be why. If your bot has an A-stance foot, which I can understand, that means that you want his feet splayed a bit so his feet are flat. But his ratchets in his hip don't allow for it. So basically, once you take one click out, that A-stance is off the ground. So what's the point of this? I don't get it. So let's talk size. We have RC giving the business to Wreck-Gar. You have Voyager Springer there. You have Masterpiece Hot Rod. That's the Takara version. That's why he's got the black shins. And you have our Magnus. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you can't put this with your Masterpieces. And I kind of agree. He is smaller than he technically should be. But it don't look wrong. Mix them up, people. Have some fun. Mix them up. Look at these shoulder things. They're way up here. They're way up there. But I think it works out. I think they look cool together. I will say this. Stop cutting her hands, guys. Please stop cutting her hands. Just cut the handle of the gun. Whose idea was it to cut her hands? And whoever's idea it was, I don't know if he's on TFW 2005. We need to get rid of this dude, man. Stop cutting her hands. They're delicate little hands. Cut the end of the gun. They fit in perfectly. Jesus. So if... This is fantastic looking, by the way. But if in Japan you read in the opposite direction, which this booklet does. This is the instruction booklet with a comic in it. If you do that, when you open it up, it looks like it actually reads left to right. I found that kind of weird. And I don't know, I can't read that stuff. If you can read it, please let me know. But it looks like this is the end point and that's the start point. I could be wrong. This is beautiful stuff. This might be one of those cases of, oh, I don't get it, so I think it's wicked. You know, this is the instruction booklet, and then you open the thing up. And I usually don't show this kind of boring instruction booklet stuff. But, wow, yeah, I think that's really cool. Yeah, his feet look wonky with no rocker. These shoulder pads just look tall. Yeah, they're way up here. And he has no wrist swivels. These are problems we know about. But is he a fun toy? Let's transform him and see. All you have to do is pull down the chest piece, pull the head back. You gotta basically remove the little dude in his chest. A3. Let's get rid of him. Then we fold the head down and cover it with that top plate. Close up that chest panel with his head in there. You gotta do one before the other. And then pull out the cab section. Then pull out the wheel section here and raise it up. You should at this point be able to rotate the cab section around and peg it into the little pegs there. Then you want to pull out these little sections and raise his feet. They're on a dumbbell hinge here. They basically retreat back into his shin. And you want to rotate these son of a guns. I wish they put some paint there. It looks like a missile kind of thing. I wish they put some paint right here. There's a lot of good paint on here, but I kind of wish that was better. Move these girls up. You have little tab points, and you want to move these sections down. The only part I don't enjoy is you gotta take these off, because they basically peg into the other side of the arm. Alright, so we have to rotate this girl back, the chest piece, and you're basically going to use the hips now and just kind of rotate them back. Basically the chest piece is going to fit in right there. Then we're going to get rid of these gauntlets on the arms. They're on a double hinge. They just simply swivel down and peg into place. Then you're going to extend that section by pulling down those little shoulder cauldrons or whatever you want to call them. This is going to rotate up. The main thing you want to have is the cutout part at the top. So you may have to swivel the arm depending on where you've got it. These are going to tab together up top in the gauntlet area, and then there's little peg sections that are going to peg in to this rear section to give you the full effect of Ultra Magnus. Looks like this little piece came out, but that's all you gotta do. Magnus in his carrier mode, if you will. I really like the painted rims. That's a top-notch thing, and again, I really like this white with this blue. Looks great. I don't like this hinge. This hinge bothers me tremendously. I don't know if it's just one of those situations where they're molding stuff in red for the thighs, and they're like, oh yeah, well this is a solid plastic, let's throw that on the sprue. Hey, you know, I'm not sure what it is, but I don't care for it. And if I take any liking to this alt mode at all, I will be painting that, but I doubt I will. I think there's still some lacking paint on the details, but in a way I don't want these details picked out. This molding, designed probably by a Hasbro employee. Like, look at that door. That door is tiny. Like, how small would a human have to be to get through that door? And look at that ladder. It's absolutely ridiculous. Either that or this carrier is absolutely huge. And in saying that, look how much taller this carrier is than the cab. It's kind of off-putting, but in a way, it does look good. There's no feet on the back. I don't see those feet. I don't see those feet at all. So there's there's little problems. Doesn't that look like a little puppy dog face? Little eyes, little nose and stuff. It ain't perfect in this mode. But luckily, most of us display our bots in robot mode. Let's do some comparisons. So many discussions involve him as a car carrier. So I'm gonna just bombard this thing with cars. Let's start with deluxes. The deluxes do fit. I'll give it that. They do fit, but I don't think that's right. I mean, that car is as big as the cab. That ain't right. That ain't right, yo. And he's not able to fit more than two. Let's try something else. Let's do G1. G1, it kind of works. It kind of works. My voice is getting high for some reason. Not sure why. G1 kind of works. I think it should still be a little bit smaller. Okay, Scouts. Might be my favorite. They seem a little narrow, but I think they look right. Now, the problem is you don't get a lot of Scouts, but I think that kind of looks right. No, maybe, actually, no, needs to be smaller. Okay, Legends class stuff. This is more recent Legends class. I've got older Legends class stuff, and you have Alpha Trion. Man, look at all these comparisons. Anyways, I think this works the best when they're actually inside the vehicle. You know, at least for scale. situations. These Legends do look a little small, just to point that out. Obviously, the Alpha Trion or Minimus Ambus is terribly tiny. Overall, I did enjoy this Transformer right in front of you. This is a good bot. It's fun to transform. It's fun to throw bots on top of them. So it is enjoyable. But if you are looking for something that has, good molding, not tiny little doors, articulation, even paint apps and consistency to, the origin source, then this might not be your thing. You may just want to go and spend that money on the masterpiece, Ultra Magnus. But I can't diss this bot. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I bet anything I'm going to be transforming it over and over the next few days. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys soon. Let's transform him. Unclip his chest. Move his head back. Oh, look, the whole cab came up.